Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. Happy 2023. For today's video, the first video of 2023, I present the 23 BZ4X XLE All-Wheel Drive. This is of course Toyota's first EV, so I'm going to show you around this vehicle, show you the various different features, take it on the drive, and see how it compares to other competitors. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications. Let's get into this video, shall we? Looking on the outside of the 23 BZ4X, this is a XLE all-wheel drive trim. This is your key fob right here. You have lock, unlock, a AC hold function, as well as a panic button. Toilet is inscripted at the bottom of the key fob. As equipped, this is about $47,000 as this one is. You can see up front, you do have full LED lighting. Right there with LED turn signal, low and high beams. Quick look at the limited trim over there. You can see the LED turn signal is above the running light, but that is a later review. Looking at this, you can see you do also have 18-inch rims. Now the Limited does get 20-inch rims. As I stated before, that review will be coming later. Of course, do have a little steering right there for to let the airflow come in the vehicle. Here's another look at the 18-inch rims. The charging door is on the driver's side, so let's go ahead and talk about specs of the BZ4X. It does have a 71.4 kilowatt-hour battery, which is ready for 222 miles of range. Now, if you do get the front-wheel drive version, that will increase to 252 miles if you do get the XLE, or 242 if you get the limited front-wheel drive version. But this can charge in about 60 minutes on a DC fast charge from low to 80%, and a full charge will take about 9.5 hours. If you keep score, the front-wheel drive actually takes 30 minutes on a DC fast charge from low to 80%. Acceleration is rated to be under 6 seconds. Vehicle weight is about 4,500 pounds, as this one is equipped. You can see right there, you do have keyless entry for the front door handles. Blind spot information right there. Here's a quick look at the panoramic sunroof with blacked out roof racks up top. Coming around to the rear, which I do like this rear and three-quarter design, looks pretty nice. Nice amount of kind of boxiness with a little bit of like that kind of sporty aerodynamicness at the top right there. This looks pretty sweet. Have a tow hitch down below. LED tail lights back here with halogen turn signals and reverse lights. I do like the strip that goes across. When you do get the limited trim, you will of course get a power tailgate, but looking back here, you have 27.7 cubic feet of space. The seats do fold down in a 60-40 fashion, and you do have a cargo cover to hide your cargo. And LED illumination over here on this side. A little bit more storage down below. Some tie downs for your cargo right there. And of course, it is a carpeted mat. Let me show you guys the interior of the BZ4X. Now, you're probably wondering what's under the front of the BZ4X. So let's find out together. So you can see right there, since this is a dual motor setup, there's mostly battery stuff under here. And no engine because it's a EV. Let me show you guys the interior of the BZ4X. Stepping height is pretty good. Now I have the seat adjusted for my frame at 5'6", and I literally have about 6 inches of legroom with about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of headroom. You have 2 USB-C ports right there for charging with some air vents and some storage back there. Automatic windows in the rear. A little bit of soft touch materials right there with some storage for bottles and other drinks down below. Here's a quick look to the front cabin. The panoramic roof also allows a lot of light to come into the cabin. Also do have LED illumination with 2 cup holders in the spot right there for your phone. But let me show you guys the driver's seat of the BZ4X where all the action happens. Looking at the driver's seat of the BZ4X, you can see, of course, this does have manual seat adjustments. Of course, if you do get the limited trim, it will get power seat adjustments with a couple of other niceties. But this does have your window controls over here on this side. All this is soft touch. Automatic lighting right there with the front hood release. A manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. You can see right there, this does have the cloth seating. Stepping height is pretty good. Let me show you guys the front display right here in front of you, which is the star piece of the BZ4X. So you basically use this display right here as well as this display to control the central display. You basically toggle through your different range functions, driver assistance settings, audio, all-wheel drive system, as well as tire pressure, various different vehicle settings for the driver assistance technology, from sensors, parking sensors, front and rear, automatic emergency braking, lane departure, and other vehicle settings right there. If you hold that, you change your charging settings, as well as rear seat minder if you do leave your kid in the back seat and you forget. I do like how innovative this screen is right here. It is very nice touch. Definitely does have a very unique view when you are looking right here in front of you. Got this 3-spoke steering wheel with light controls on this side and wiper controls on that side. That's basically how you control the display. Phone controls right there. This is your volume with voice command functions. Over here on this side, you do have your adaptive cruise settings with your lane keeping assist and various different mode functions right there for the radio. Looking at the 12-inch display right here, you can see, first things first, it does have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So we will try that out right now.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour.
Now the 6-speaker sound system is pretty good, but I highly recommend, if you are getting a BZ4X, to get the 9-speaker JBL sound system to get a little bit more clarity and quality in the sound system. It is available, of course, in the limited trim. Of course, disconnect. There you go. Let's disconnect the Apple CarPlay. Now, speaking of things, this is actually one of the problems that I do find with the Apple CarPlay connectivity, especially in like these Toyota Lexus products, is that you have to actually disconnect it to get it to go back to the regular screen. Let's see, I disconnected it. And there you go, turn on Bluetooth. Alright, so I was able to disconnect it. So you can see right here, you have navigation, which is of course a subscription-based system right here. But you basically put in your navigation and it'll start up no problem at all. Radio functions right here. You do have AM, FM, Sirius XM radio. Rewinding, you can of course change different tunes, bands, and so on. Radio information, this is also how you connect your Apple CarPlay right here through the screen. You also have vehicle settings, trip information, charging schedule right there, as well as different vehicle alert functions. Then coming down here to your settings function, you do also have personal information, your Bluetooth devices, general settings. This does also have built-in Wi-Fi. Display settings right there for the screen. You can control the brightness, contrast. Sound controls, you can change the bass and the sound quality. Like I stated before, definitely get the 9-speaker JBL if you want a little more sound. Light controls with your door controls right there. And charging settings right there. You can actually limit the amount of charging that you will get when you are charging the vehicle. You can limit like 80% if you want the battery to go over a certain amount of time. Climate, as well as utility functions right there. Does have a lot of various different functions. And I do like the speed and feedback of the infotainment display right here. 12-inch display right here. Very clear, crisp, and I do like the white background. You can of course change the background out. But looking down here, you also have a dual zone climate control, 3-stage heated front seats, 2-stage heated steering wheel, eco button for the climate controls, dual zone of course with heated, defrost windshield, air vents right there, push button start over here on this side, and your cluster illumination with your trip odometer reading. This right here is for your regen braking. This button right here on that side. You do also have a auto hold with a automatic parking brake. Eco mode on this side, and X mode for your off-road driver assist. You can see right there the wireless phone charger is starting up no problem, but you have X mode right there for off-roading. Deep snow and mud functions does turn off the stability and traction control. And this is your hill descent function button with traction off right there. This is your rotary dial, so this is your gear shift. So you got push for park, you got push in for reverse. You do have a backup camera with trajectory lines, neutral, drive, and then you push again for a park. Show you guys the wireless charging pad right here with the USB-A charging port. 2 cup holders right here with a little bit of storage. Down here you do have another USB-C port as well as a 12-volt charger and a spot right there for your phone. A couple other things I noticed in the cabin too, you also do have this lovely kind of cloth finish material right there and a auto dimming rear mirror up top. Now the panoramic sunroof is closed, so you basically just open and close the shade. But you do have LED illumination, which looks nice. It's like a whole little ring right there. It's just a nice touch. You have a mirror right there with LED illumination. But let's go and take the BZ4X for a quick drive and see how she does. Behind the wheel of the 23 Toyota BZ4X. Go ahead and throw it into eco mode for a second. Now, since we're out in Lower, we will start by going on the highway. Check out some of the highway impressions. And just like in my RX video that I recently did, you can't see, you do also have your speed limit assist right there in the front display. This display is so quirky though when you're driving. It just looks so, it's like literally a head-up display, but it's like right there in your line of sight. Now, speaking of sight, let's talk about the visibility out the front, rear, and sides. I can see very clear out the front, as well as the side mirrors, and very clear out the rear as well, thanks to that kind of squared off rear end design. And even in eco mode, it does definitely have more than enough power. Now, as I stated before, my Walkaround, this has 214 horsepower and 248 pound-foot of torque, which is more than adequate. You can also turn on your lane keeping assist right there. This does have steering assist, so if you do veer off your lane, it will pull you back. But I do want to try the adaptive cruise control. So you go ahead and set that. You can adjust the speed as well as the following distance. And go all the way down from 4 to 1 following distance for car lengths. You see right there, the adaptive cruise is easy to use, very easy, and it's following the lane as well as traffic in front of us with this camera up top. And it's doing a very good job at that. You can see right there, lane keeping assist. Try that out a little bit. Give you a warning right there, as well as a flash in the display. And if you really veer off, it'll definitely give you a shimmy in the steering wheel. I definitely do love this display right here. That's probably the biggest talking point of this video you're going to hear me say is this display up top. Very innovative, very clear, crisp, and does have a lot of features right there in your line of sight. This does, of course, have the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. So all this driver assistance you see right here is standard. And you can deactivate adaptive cruise right there. I have to say that at 4,500 pounds, it does have pretty good turning. Honestly, not bad. Nope, no traffic for me today. I mean, handling is pretty good. I'm honestly impressed. And that was in eco mode, the way it just took off with no problem at all. We just put right there in front of that truck. Now, a couple other things to talk about on the highway is how quiet is the cabin at highway speeds. I have to say though, there is no tire noise, which I'm very impressed with. With a lot of other EVs, you can definitely hear that a little bit more, but keep in mind, these are the 18-inch rims. We will have to try the 20 inches and then limit it at a later date, but I can't say it is very quiet at highway speeds. You definitely hear a little bit of noise out of the windows. I get like a Ricer Honda, you can just hear it, but somewhere around here. But other than that, this thing is very smooth at highway speeds. And let's say you just turn off eco mode and you try out the power a little bit. Definitely pretty good passing power. More than enough. Which does bring up one argument I do have to say though, is that, you know, a lot of EVs, especially like the Teslas and all the, you know, newer stuff, they're always racing for like the fastest 0 to 60 time. But I find that this is actually very usable in its whole performance, as well as on a daily basis with various different features and so on. You also do have a X mode, which is basically for off-road uses, and of course you do have a hill descent function right there. But basically, if you just turn off the eco mode, that's like your default kind of normal sport mode right there. Still can't get over this display right here. That's probably like the 5th time I've said that, but it's a wow factor of this car. And I think that's the thing though with all of these electric vehicles, is that they all have their different and various different wow factors. Now, speaking of range, this has about 222 miles of range. This one being all-wheel drive and having the dual motor setup. So 222 miles puts it right above, I would say, things like the Volkswagen like ID4 and Q4 e-tron, and right in line with something like a Mach-E Mustang, which honestly I haven't had that much seat time in, but it feels like about kind of the same silhouette design and range. But at the top of the whole segment, I would say you do have things like the Ioniq 5 and the EV6 for about the same price, has about 256 miles of range. I also love this kind of cloth material right there around the dashboard in the front. The XLE also does, of course, have a couple amenities. Of course, you do have 2-stage heated steering wheel and the 3-stage heated front seats, which you can put in a auto setting in colder weather. Acceleration is also pretty good, but I do want to try 0 to 60 up here. So basically you'll leave it in off on non-eco mode, which is basically like a normal default setting, and turn off your traction. Alright, and then basically you just floor it and get a little brake at it and go. That's about 70-ish miles an hour if you are on a highway. And that felt about a 6.5 seconds. 0 to 60 was pretty quick and responsive. Definitely once you get going, it just picks up the pace a little bit more. You can feel that 248 pound-foot of torque, but you really feel when you're rolling and you just gun it like that, it really throws you back in the seat right there, that mid-range when you are rolling. Since we got some traffic, I want to throw on the adaptive cruise. Click of one button and you're all set. See right there, adaptive cruise again, works easy, no problem at all with that. You can basically just turn it off with one click of the button. That lane keeping assist, you see right there, it'll give you a warning in the lane right there. And you also do have steering assist, so it'll help pull you back in the lane. Definitely does have more than enough power on a daily basis. Now the truth is, you really don't need like a 400 horsepower EV on a daily basis if you just want to floor it everywhere you're going. It's bad for range, bad for the environment, but I have to say though, this is more than enough. Of course, you do have faster things, obviously, for the price or whatever, but you don't get this level of build quality and technology. And I'm very impressed though with Toyota innovating with the screen up top. That's definitely one of the biggest impressions I do have with this screen right here. That is phenomenal. It is a wow factor. Now a lot of EVs do kind of have a little bit of a wow factor, but this is definitely one to talk about. I feel like a floating center console right there, the way this coops up right there around the front, literally looking like a head-up display. A couple things I do also like, which you will go ahead and get into the conclusion, as well as the screen up top. I do also like the wireless connectivity for wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. And I do also like with this wireless charging pad right here, you can have your phone right here, and if you close that, you can still see your phone illuminate if you want to kind of have it hidden. I tell you guys, from a roll, this is where you really feel the acceleration and the power of this BZ4X. So it's got a red light, you gotta do one more acceleration. Let's put that down so you don't get sunblind. And it's like, that felt even faster than before. I don't know. It's like it's picking up pace even more. And mind you, so we left with about 71 miles of charge. Right now we're about 62, so charging is actually pretty good. I'm very impressed with that. But overall, like I have to say though, I do like this BZ4X. The packaging does have pretty good backseat legroom. This really does get me excited to try out the limited trim. Now, I will be trying that at a later date, but I have to say though, definitely impressed with what I see right here. So let's be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications. This is Chris signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, look at this gear shifter. Boop, push that apart, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.